Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the ASRC Sportsman Series here for the Tropicana 225 at Daytona. This will be race number 1 of our 20-week series here. I'm in the booth with the Boosted Brothers Broadcasting here with my brother Carson. Carson, you want to say hi?
Yeah, hello everyone, and thank you again, Brett, for having me. I'm ready for an exciting race tonight here for the season opener of the ASRC Sportsman Series at Daytona.
Yep, Carson, it is going to be a very exciting race here at Daytona. As everyone knows, very high speed, very close racing, and some pack racing here. So we should see some good racing, as Mike Witt is currently the top time here in practice. I think we had about 24 cars here at Daytona, so we should have a nice full field here for qualifying here in a minute. As we are inside the last minute of qualifying, we are currently cruising around the scenic cams of Daytona. As a few cars on track, we'll see
oh boys, how did I do?
Who's on track. As we look here to see on track, maybe we got actually our top time of the night right now. We got Mike Witt right now on track, so we'll look at the 26 machine there of the Frito-Lay and Pepsi. As we transition into qualifying here, we'll get a quick word from our sponsors. as we get a little bit of the sights and sounds here. Well, we are watching Seth Harrison complete his qualifying run there, as we'll see where that puts him on the board. It looks like about P4 as of right now. We'll see how long that stands, but a cool camera shot from the camera boys back at home at track 22 to give us the sights of a qualifying run. As I was trying to say, the first lap you want to run up against the wall in case of trying to get the car wound up and up to speed, and then the second lap you want to run nice at that double yellow line as we check out the 21 machine of Tim Rogers as he finishes his second lap. We'll see where this puts him on the scoring charts. Looks like about P8. As we'll go watch the one machine of Tanner Tallarico come off of turn 4 here. I think this is his time lap. We'll see where this puts him as he crosses the start finish line there. And that puts him P10. So far Eric Papanow with the fastest lap, followed by Michael Lemieux, and then Dan Parmalee in P3 so far. So we'll see if any of these guys here. I think Jackson Lewis in the 7 machine here is coming up for his final lap. We'll see where this puts him. Actually, no, I was mistaken. That was his first time lap. So we'll see. This will be his money lap. We'll watch him here as he tries to be as smooth as he can in these corners and try and carry the momentum, and we'll see where the 7 machine ends up for his qualifying efforts here. As he makes his way down the backstretch into turn 3 and 4 here. It looks like a pretty smooth lap. We'll have to see where he ends up coming off of 4. Let's see if he cuts the double yellow, as time does expire before he can get in his money lap, so he will have to start at the back. So we'll see where that puts everyone, as I think the grid is set for tonight's race here, as we'll go do a quick grid walk here. Alrighty, for the grid for tonight's race, we have Eric Papanow with the pole in the 10 machine. Starting second will be Michael Lemieux in the 40. Starting third is Dan Parmalee in the 710. Fourth place, Andrew Payne in the 93 machine. And rounding out your top 5 in the 5 car will be Nathan Gu. In 6th place, we got the 07 machine, which we were watching there at the beginning, of Seth Harrison. 7th place will be Jamie Beasley in the 4 machine. 8th place will be Tim Rogers in the 21. 9th place, Nick Winuk in the 33. And rounding out your top 10 will be Tanner Tallarico in the 1. Starting 11th in the 24 machine will be Richard Pruitt. 12th place will be Skip Gandy in the 20 machine. In 13th, you have Mike Witt in the 26, fast time in practice. 14th, you got John DeMeester in the 2. 15th is Michael Sturgill in the 90. 16th, Brett Edwards in the 45. Starting 17th, Warren Young in the 11. 18th is Jackson Lewis, who wasn't able to get his fast lap in there at the end. Josh Cottle starting 19th in the 13, and then rounding out your top 20 is Sean Hayes in the 9. Then 21st, you got Dave Payne in the 38. Drew Cox starting 22nd. Chris Harvey in the 93 starting 23rd. And rounding out your field tonight in the 24 machine is Sean Grace. Actually, we got one more starter, I think, in the back here. And that would be Jeffrey Oakes in the 934.
Who you got for a pick tonight, Brett?
Ooh, that's a tough one, Carson, as I think we see Dan Parmalee taking an EO. I guess he wanted to elect to start at the back, so we'll have to see how that works for him. But I think with a crazy race, it's so hard to pick a driver, but I've been seeing some good speed out of that 21 machine of Tim Rogers. I think he I think we'll see that Ford machine up near the front. Who do you got, Carson?
I think Andrew Payne would be a pretty good pick as well, Brett.
Alrighty, so there's the picks up in the booth, and be sure to leave a comment here in the YouTube section if you have someone you're rooting for out there at home. As we start to take the green flag here, we'll go up to the front, and Eric Papinow would lead the way as we have to figure out who's behind his pace car, Carson, as we'll have to give them a good name. But we will wait on the 10 car to fire here as we take the green flag for the first race of the ASRC Sportsman Series, and we are racing here at Daytona. And I believe Carson will have everyone single file out pretty quickly here as the race gets on, and we'll have to see who starts working together and when they start pushing, because they, unlike last night, Carson, they have a pit stop they have to make this tonight. So we'll see as, well, I think Jackson Lewis there may have got the outside wall in 3 and 4 there.
Yeah, we'll have to see how much strategy comes into play with like pitting and stuff.
Yep, and since this is virtual and not quite real life, Carson, instead of the spotters all communicating with teammates and stuff, you can talk to your teammates directly. So we'll see a lot of team strategy here, trying to find your buddies and who you want to work with, and try and get up to them and ride around probably for a little bit. But you know, there are points for leading the lap and leading the most laps, so it can be worth it to try and get up front and lead a lap to get some bonus points, because you never know when some points may help you or be the difference to making it into the playoffs here at the end of the season.
Yeah, that's what I kind of brought up, is that there's the main race going on, but then you also have to pay attention to try to get your points for the championship as well.
Yep, especially if you can hang on to a decent finish at a unpredictable track like Daytona, it can go a long ways here, Carson.
Yeah, in the season opener, you want to get off to a good start and put yourself in a good spot for the rest of the season.
That is very key too. If you can start off on the right foot, it makes things going on down the line much more, let's say, easier or more obtainable. As we'll start going through the field, I think it'll be close at the line, but Michael Lemieux will lead this lap as he's getting a good push from the 07. He drops down and goes to that inside line. So now Seth Harrelson in the 07 will lead the top side, and Michael Lemieux is now leading the bottom side in that 40 machine.
Yeah, we are starting to now see people hooking up together and really locking bumpers and pushing each other to the front.
Yep, and as we see about 2 lines forming up near the front, but further in the back, such as maybe John DeMeester or Nathan Gu and Chris Harvey. It looks like they are for sure hanging out in the back, biding their time, and probably waiting for the inevitable big one here to come, Carson.
Yeah, honestly, that's not too bad of a strategy either, because with a super speedway like this, there's always something that's going to happen.
Yep. Real quick, while we got the camera on him, I got to give a shout out to that 97 machine. That thing looks like a sweet paint scheme out there on the Chris Harvey machine with that orange, that gray, and that black. So whoever painted that thing, props to that paint job. As we'll go back to the front as Seth Harrison has pulled up beside Michael Lemieux. We'll see if he can get a good push from that 21 machine of Tim Rogers. As we come to the stripe, we are 6 laps in, 90 to go. So still a lot of time to make up some ground, but I think we already see a lot of people find who they want to work with here in these early laps.
Yeah, so far it's been pretty tame, Brett, but it could be the calm before the storm.
Yep, I think we'll get some pretty big action when people have to green flag pit stops if we have to see that tonight, or else like last night, once we get inside 10 to go, I think we'll start coming off and we'll see some moves being made. As the outside is kind of dissipate a little bit, and Jamie Beasley will shoot up to the top to lead that top side. We'll see if he can get that line going back and see if he can pass Lemieux for the lead. On board right now with the War Machine of Tanner Talarico, seeing what he's seeing from his roof shot, but I was just about to point out, it looks like he kind of pulled the parachute there for a minute and said, let me just get down at the bottom and ride as he shoots up to the top pretty high there. I wonder if he's seeing something he doesn't like, or maybe he's just trying to get to the back and ride it out.
But that's not too bad of a spot to be just there by yourself without having to worry about being in the pack.
Yep, it's one of my favorite spots when I do my own racing, Carson, is be kind of that first car on the inside right behind the main pack, that side by side. You just kind of watch and see what's going on, see who's making good moves, see who's kind of steady, and see who maybe people you want to try and get around maybe a yellow flag here in the future. As we'll see, Jamie Beasley does lead that lap, so Jamie is able to get that thing out in front of Michael. And I think that 07 machine might be a pretty good pusher here tonight. He's pushed a couple people out to the front, so we'll have to keep that in the back of the mind and see if anyone else has noticed that. Almost get some 3 wide there, about 4 or 5 rows back with Jackson Lewis and them, but they seem to all kind of tuck in line and get it all strained out here before, since we are so early in this race.
Yeah, hopefully they don't try to stick it 4 wide, or else that might be disaster.
Yep, this place is pretty much you're maxed out at 3 wide. You can get away with it if some pretty good guys like these guys are here tonight. You can get away with it, but 4 wide, that's pretty much only at Talladega with a slightly wider turns and straightaways, because this place gets pretty tight pretty quickly. As we get some 3 wide with, I think, the 21 machine pulling the parachute saying, let me drop back, because we have some pretty big spread out in the 2 packs here, Carson.
Yeah, you see that a lot at Daytona with just forming packs and everyone stays in that pack, and the back pack just waiting to see what happens with the front pack right now.
Yep. As we can see, the front pack's more double file. Everyone's just kind of seeing what they can do. Seth's probably getting a little hot, looking for some air there. But the second pack is sure much more single filed out, and everyone just kind of riding around, making sure they're not too much in the storm, but they don't want to get too far back, because it's hard to push back up if they don't get all organized and hauling the mail up back to them, though. As we kind of focus our camera on the sweet-looking K&M machine of 38 of Dave Payne here, being followed by Tanner Talarico, Andrew Payne. Looks like Sean Grace. On the inside, we got Sean Hayes, Josh Cottle, and Drew Cox. I think both those rows of 3 there will have some pretty good team alliances. I think as these closing laps come upon us. As we'll go back up to the front, Action Jackson Lewis is now up 17 spots and has taken the lead, as now Jamie Beasley has pulled out from out behind him, and I think Jamie will clear him back. But that 7 machine, I tell you what, Carson, he has the game plan to get out to the front, because that's probably one of the safest spots you can be here at Daytona.
Yeah, he's trying to be out in the front so he could be ahead of any racks, hopefully.
Yep. As we are on lap 13 of 90, Carson, what do you say we go a little non-stop commercial here?
I say let's do it.
Anytime you come to Daytona, it's a big race. But this year's Pepsi 400, it's really big. Prime time on NBC. Britney Spears is the Grand Marshal. She's got a way of starting everybody's engines.
Hey, Jeff, give me a 3/4-inch socket, will you?
Very talented girl, that Britney.
The Pepsi 400 when NASCAR comes to NBC July 7th.
A broken heart, I can't help you. Rocket science, don't know what to tell you. I may not know how to get to the moon, but when I wanna fly, my crew knows what to do. Crank around the west, in the left rear. You're only turning 9,000, need another gear. Never know how.
Come on back, straight back. Hey, Jeremy. Hey, bud. That's it, come on back. Come on back. Plenty of room. A little bit more. That's it, come on back.
Get things done instantly with the i530 by Motorola. Only $29.99 after $50 mail-in rebate. Nextel from Sprint.
Come on, guys. Yeah.
Come on, Tony Stewart.
Oh, God.
Confidence.
That was me. Tony Stewart. Before I started using swagger from Old Spice. Now look at me. She's from Russia.
We are back here, Carson, at
Come on, Tony.
the Tropicana 225, as it looks like we have the big one here, Carson. Let's see if we can find out what happened and what brought out the first yellow here tonight.
And again, kind of a announcer's drinks moment. We were just talking about the 7 and getting in the front so I could be ahead of the wreck, and he said it.
Oh man, we'll have to see. As now he's on pit road, we'll have to see what happened to the 7 cars. We'll get an instant replay here. Here they come off of turn 4, folks, and we'll see what happened. Jamie Beasley pushing him in the 4 car, gets a little high, and looks like some neck code to Michael Lemieux, and there's at least 5 cars involved, maybe 6 or 7 there, as a lot of people come in a little bit later, as we'll try and see what we saw there from a different angle. We try and get a different camera here. We'll see what it looked like from this point of view. As we'll see from the top of the grandstands here, this should give us a pretty good view. It looks like the 4 car, Jamie Beasley pushing the 7. It's a little low there, and they get some neck code, but I think he's going to hit the 40 no matter what. And they do a good job keeping it kind of high, but Dan Parmalee nowhere to go, and the 932 looks like about 6 or 7 cars there with some pretty major damage, which is a bummer to see this early in the race. As we'll go back to live here, as I think most people are on pit road here. We'll have to see how many people came in, it looks like the whole field just about to. They only got one set of tires here tonight, Carson, so I assume probably no tire taken, but probably some fuel to make it so they can go a little bit longer before they have to pit again. We have it on the 07 machine of Seth Harrelson. Looks like he comes out of pits around P5 as the rest of the field now makes their way, as we see a couple heavily damaged cars on pit road, missing some bumper covers and such.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. A lot of fast cars involved in that wreck there.
Yeah, bummer when the wrecks happen at the front, especially at these super speedways, because even though you can be hanging out in the back and such, it's hard to get a car wound down from 190 plus to about 30 or 40 to roll through a wreck pretty cleanly. We go back to the front. It looks like the 934 of Jeff Oakes is out here leading. He will have a red number by his name next time we come out here. I think he was a late joiner, so the booth didn't quite have enough time to add his number, but he'll be in the he'll be in the blue division, so he'll have a blue number by his name. But Carson, you want me to talk a little bit about the divisions here for everyone watching at home?
Yeah, give them an idea why the divisions and the championships is so important.
Alrighty, Carson. So as you see, everyone at home on screen, above 2,500 I rating they'll have a red number and a red banner on their car, and this will mark as the overall champion. As some contact on pit road actually. We'll have to see what happened there. He kind of may have slowed down a little too much. I think we might have to rewind that. And contact's never go, but especially on pit road, that's a major bummer when you can get some contact on. Looks like the 934 looking for his pit crew and maybe went by it. And Nathan Goot, last night's winner of the Pepsi shootout, was a little bit of nose damage. So we'll have to see how that affects that car. But as I was saying before, we got the class points here. 2,500 is the overall champion. We're thinking maybe calling them the Mountain Dew Code Red Series. But this could be actually anyone technically, even a below guy. And then below 2,500, this will be the blue division. And these guys will be going for their own championship as well. We're thinking about maybe naming them the Mountain Dew Frostbite division. But you'll see a blue banner, and then the blue numbers with the white outline will be this division. So points are very important for each race, Carson, especially when there's multiple divisions and championships going on, not only just a race leader, let's say.
Yeah, because you never know that every point may matter by the end of the season.
I think it's not a matter of may matter. I think it will matter. As I don't know if I'm seeing this right, Carson. Looks like the lights are extinguished on the pace car, as they are, as opposed to the left. And Eric Papineau will once again lead the field to green as he fires off in that 10 machine on the inside. Looks like with some good strategy, Eric Papineau will start first. Seth Harrelson in the 07 will start second. And now in the top three is Richard Pruitt there in that 24 machine, as everyone kind of gets back up to speed and getting it wound up this first lap. Seth Harrelson with a great push by Mike Witt in the 26, I think will clear Eric Papineau into 3. It'll be interesting to see if he moves down, and he does so. The 26 of Mike Witt will now be leading the outside in that Frito-Lay PepsiCo car. Actually, I think Mike Witt will lead this lap on the outside, so that's another bonus point for another different driver here today, Carson, as he moves back to the bottom. And now Drew Cox, who was hanging out in the back there for that beginning part of the race, said, all right, let me make my way to the front. I think the yellows are hopefully over, and maybe he can stay in front of it if there's one coming out later here, Carson.
Yeah, hopefully. But we saw that sometimes that doesn't even work.
Yep, there's no safe place at Daytona. There's only, is it safer than another place, as a pretty good side drafting out for the lead here by these front two. We'll switch over to now the NASCAR tower here on the left side of your screen. We'll go back a little bit further in the field and check out where this pack may split. Looks like the 93 machine will be the first car not really in the pack, hanging out, followed by Tim, Chris, Dave, Tanner, and then Nathan Goot with that nose damage. It looks like we got one car way back here, maybe off the pace and for sure out of the draft. That's a bummer. So about 17 cars, maybe 18 if someone is out here and can get their car back on track, but about 17 cars, 17 cars in contention for a win after that first big one. As we go back up to the front, and now Michael Sturgill in that 8 machine, or 90 by the scoring, leads the outside line, being pushed by the 9 car Sean Hayes, and Drew Cox was able to clear Mike Witt as we ride on board with him and lead the inside line. As we saw there, you have to be so precise with pushing a car, because any sort of hit that's not square too fast can move the guy on the inside or in front of you out of line and cause him to get really loose. So we got to see a pretty good shot there from the 26 machine of Mike Witt.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be below the double yellow line for too long.
We'll get a good onboard shot of Sturgis out here. What do you say?
Let's see what it looks like.
This kind of left rear shot that you can see kind of the whole field behind him as he moves this outside line. Like we see with Sean Hayes right now. Can't really bump, or you for sure don't want to, especially a guy on the outside bump him in the middle of the corner, because that can cause him to get loose and cause a yellow flag like we saw before. But you can give him some good shots going down the straightaway in the straight line. Now it looks like no one's going to follow the 90 machine of Michael Sturgill. It looks like he'll probably be hung out to dry here for a little bit.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for him, but he'll have the opportunity to hopefully be able to draft his way back up toward the front.
Yep, but as we see here coming up, that 90 machine, you can kind of hold your own on the high side, even though you're by yourself. Because of this new draft model, side drafting is a thing now in iRacing, so you can get a little bit of side draft and get on the guy on the inside right rear quarter panel and kind of pull him back and make sure that they don't get too far out there. And now there's Drew Cox leading the way on the high side. I think Mike Witt may have gotten started to get hot, and they're luckily working together, and you don't want to see anyone blow their motor this early in the race.
Whoa, big loose moment for the 9 car, but he saved it.
Yeah, impressive save there, and looks like he is able to get it back up in the tri-oval, which is also impressive too, because there's a good amount of banking change from the apron to the tri-oval. So impressive save there by the 9 machine of Sean Hayes. I don't think he even lost his spot really, Carson.
No, he saved it quick enough, but yeah, there was really no damage done.
So we will go through the field maybe a little bit. So we have Mike Witt leading the way on the bottom, followed by Michael Sturgill, Drew Cox here coming on this high side with Seth Harrelson behind him. Josh Cottle behind Seth, and then Sean Hayes rounding out your top side in 6th place. 7th place is Eric Papanow right now. 8th place is Richard Pruitt. 9th place we haven't talked about too much here is Skip Gandy in the 20 machine. And then John Demeester, he picked up a practice race win again. He's leading the line for the pack behind, let's say. As they come out of turn 4 here, they'll click over to lap 29 of 90 here, so almost a third of the way in, and we'll go to another commercial break here for a little bit.
Hey, Jeff. Now listen, I got it right here, buddy. It's icy cold and tasting great. Now come on, Jeff, you tell me, is there anybody in this world who deserves this here Pepsi more than you?
Hi, Jeff.
See you later, Jeff.
Now that's what I call motivation.
I don't know where she came from.
Don't worry, Jeff. There's always Daytona.
Ever dreamed of driving a real cup car? Well, now you can. This is the fan controller.
What the? Tony, what are you doing? It's possessed.
That was completely inappropriate.
I'm out of here.
Run, Sandy, run for your life!
What was that all about?
Since you guys taught me to drive, I'm gonna teach you to wrestle. Denny, let's start with you. I'll show you a move. It's right over here. This is a body slam. What? Not bad.
Here, man, let me help you up.
Huh? No! No! These guys are phenomenal.
Start every day with Gillette Fusion Power Phenom. With Gillette's most comfortable shave, you'll feel phenomenal. Gillette Fusion Power Phenom, the only razor used by the Gillette Young Guns.
For even more comfort, use Gillette Fusion Hydrogel. Comfortable?
And we are back here. Still under green flag this time, but I think we had a pretty big brown pants moment there. I believe Mike Witt on the inside got pretty loose, but everyone's able to save it down the back under yellow, as I think we may have a lap car in the middle of the field here. Yep. Jeffrey Oakes is the first car lap down. We'll get a wave down if he can get a yellow and keep it clean, but we saw it happen yesterday, Carson. A lapper was able to push someone to a win, so we'll have to see if that comes into play tonight.
Yeah, we will, and these guys are really jostling for positions up at the front right now, so they gotta be careful doing that.
Yep, I believe the 934 there clipped the apron, got loose, but everyone's able to keep it in the right direction. As the 93 machine from the back of the field there has come up front with the help of I believe the 21, the 38, and the 1, and they're now all within the top 5 here. So they say maybe it's go time for a little bit and try and get ahead of the madness.
Yeah, that was my pick in pre-race. I like his car tonight. He looked good in the practice race here and the race last night as well.
Yep, as we do have a lap car here on the apron, I think he'll keep it down there and let the field go by. As we go into turns 3 and 4 here, got a good battle for the lead here with Andrew Payne in the 93 lead in the low line, and then Tanner Tallarico on the 1 lead in the high line. And of course, Carson, we got to thank our sponsors there that were scrolling across the bottom of the screen when we go into the commercial screen. Of course, Tag Array for sponsoring the Dirt Pro Late Model Series that run on Tuesday nights here in the future. PepsiCo for sponsoring this series and making this happen. Luke Oil and for making this league possible, and Frito-Lay. So if you got any Pepsi products or whatever, I know I got a Pepsi next to me, Carson. You gotta crack one open and enjoy here as we click over to lap 36 and 90. As Tanner Tallarico is able to make the pass with the help of Michael Sturgill, and he will be leading the bottom, and now Sturgill will be leading the top side.
Yeah, right now the bottom's looking pretty fast with Andrew pushing Tanner.
I agree. It gets, and even Dave Payne and that stuff, but the 934 still hanging in there, still keeping that thing straight, and I believe, once again, I think it comes back to John DeMeester, the first car, just hanging out and riding with a few cars there back, as the 33 machine now is going to get lapped. So now we will have a race inside our race now for the Lucky Dog, as the 33 will be trying to race the 934 for the Lucky Dog, which the 934 currently has it. So we'll have to see how that affects the race and see if that comes into play at all. As we'll go back to the front as the one machine of Tanner Tallarico leads the way around this 2.5 mile super speedway. The racing may have calmed down just for a minute, as this high side has broken up and not too many people are up there, as most people are now kind of just running the bottom, hanging out, as I believe we'll start getting close to the fuel window. Right around lap 50, I think I'll expect most people to come to pits. Man, that 934 is slinging it off that corner there, kind of sideways. It looks like Sean Hayes will lead this lap and almost clear the one car who's riding on board with him.
Yeah, I was going to say the 07 got a big run. Came all the way from the back of the main pack and pushed the 9 on the outside of the front.
Yeah, once again, Carson, I think we'll see that 07 machine. I think he's one of the better pushers out here, especially on that top side. So I think if you got him in your mirror, you'll be looking pretty good and pretty fast, as he's able to push. It seems like a lot of different cars out to the front, so we'll have to see how that works out for him. As we come across the start-finish line here, we are 40 laps in, 50 to go, so we are coming up to halfway here in the race.
And so far, they've done a pretty good job with keeping it clean. We'll have to see how long that can last. There's only the one wreck in the race up to this point.
Yep, an early yellow here to start the night if you're just tuning in. But so far we've had about, I want to say, right around 30 laps of green flag racing since here. So we are keeping it green, and as we make our way here to start thinking about maybe green flag pit stops. As we go through this top five, we see a lot of red spoilers up at front, and I think the first blue division driver, let's say, is a little bit further back, maybe just hanging on to their stuff and keeping it clean, as the whole top 10 is a red division. I think we have a couple more red division guys here today than blue, but looks like Richard Pruitt in 12th place is leading the blue division as of right now. So multiple races going on in a single race, so should always keep these pretty entertaining for whoever you're rooting for at home.
And right now, there's really no pack at the front. Everyone's kind of just split up and spread out.
Yep, no one's pushing too hard. The 934's maybe trying to get his lap back the hard way. Maybe he can lead the field and be not technically a lap down, but a car length to it as he's pushing Sean Hayes. But we'll go run through the field here. So, of course, we got Tanner Tallarico in the one car leading that high line, followed by Seth Harrelson in the 07. Now they drop down in front of Sean Hayes, which is in third position. Fourth place, Tim Rogers in the 21. And rounding out your top five is Andrew Payne in the 93. Sixth place is Dave Payne in the 38 machine on the high side now. Seventh place is Michael Sturgill in the 90. Eighth place, Mike Witt in the 26. Ninth place, Josh Cottle in the 13th. Round out your top 10 is Eric Papanow in the 10. 11th place there is Drew Cox in the 63. 12th is Richard Pruitt. 13th is Skip Gandy. 14th is Brett Edwards. 15th position right now is Chris Harvey. And Nathan Goot is in 16th as looks like John DeMeester is pitting. So we'll see how that strategy works out for him as he makes it to his stall here. That about rounds out your lead lap cars. Looks like maybe Sean Hayes will drop to the back. We'll see how far he wants to drop back. A few cars back may have to make a little bit of evasive maneuvers to let him on in.
And someone in the comments said, does experience really matter here? Well, the main experience you need for here is drafting experience. You got to be good with drafting with a partner.
Yep. Yeah. People may think, oh, it's super speedway racing and it's nice and easy to kind of ride along and be wide open, but it really, especially with this new Aero model car, it takes about half a lap for a whole draft to kind of develop and make a good run. What do you say? We pull in the 910 machine of Dan Parmalee. I heard he got cleared from the infield care center. We'll see if he has a few words to say and what he saw from his wreck, Carson.
Yeah, let's bring him in.
Hey Dan, you got a copy of Brett in the booth here?
Yeah, I got you.
Alrighty, Dan. Well, I heard you got cleared from the infield care center. Glad to hear you're all right. And what happened? What'd you see from that wreck from the 710's vantage point?
Well, everything was looking pretty good from the beginning of the race. I elected to take an EOL to try to stay out of trouble, and it looked like everyone was playing pretty nice, so I started picking my way back up, and I just started seeing smoke as we came past the start-finish line, and that whole top lane was just knotted up with cars, and the 40 started to come down, and I just didn't have enough time to get out of his way, and bounced off of his side into the inside wall, and tried to get back on the track after repairs, but the motor blew up as soon as we left pit road.
Yeah, that will end your night early, that's for sure, with a expired motor. But glad to hear you're all right after that hard contact with the inside wall. Now, Dan, I gotta ask, where'd you get the number 710 from?
Oh, well, 71 was the number I had when I played football, and then when I got a Miata to start taking to the racetrack at Summit Point and VIR, there were a lot of people that wanted the number 71, so I stuck a 0 on the end. But what's kind of funny is if you turn 710 upside down, it looks like oil, and that's one of the problems I've always had with that car. It seems to chew through oil when it's on the racetrack.
Well, that's a good one, Dan. I like that. So if you ever end up on your lid, we'll say that's the oil machine there.
That'll work for me. You guys have a good night. We'll see you next week in Charlotte.
Yep, for sure, Dan. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank out there?
I will give a shout out to the parents and to the wife letting me go out here and do all this iRacing stuff and taking a little bit of time away from them to do it. But thanks to you guys, too, for putting on such a great show. Really enjoying the broadcast tonight.
All right, well, appreciate it, Dan. And hopefully you got some better luck here next week. And I know this isn't the finish you guys wanted.
Yeah, definitely not. But hopefully turn it around in Charlotte and get a good finish.
Yep, there you go, Dan. Well, have a good one.
See ya.
Alrighty, Carson. That was the 710 machine of Dan Parmalee. As we'll go back to the front here and see what kind of racing action we got here at the front.
Yeah, that was a pretty good story and some great insight from Dan.
Yep. I always wonder about the 710 machine because my number I choose is a 71 and then the old 711 sedan. So with it being similar to the 711, I just had to know. So pretty cool story there as we see the 934 there get the apron once again off of 2 and does an awesome job once again of keeping that thing in the right direction.
Yeah, but he's going to lose a lot of spots there, and that's scary once you get one tire below the apron and get loose, man. You're just sideways, and it's hard to save.
Yep. As they come across, it looks like Tanner Tallarico will be leading that inside line as now we got another fight once again for the lead. This time it's being led by Mike Witt in the 26th on the high side. Be sure out there in the YouTube comments to cheer on your favorite driver. Let me know if you want to see the driver and maybe if there is a yellow, we can get a word with your favorite driver here too. So be sure to comment what cars you like seeing out there on track. Looks like we got some good questions out there on the YouTube broadcast side of things. So pit stops, I believe, will be coming any lap here now. I believe we have about 40 laps of fuel available, so we should expect any lap here to probably pit. If I were out here on the track, I would definitely elect to come in sooner than later and try and pit with a good group of guys, but not with everyone, because once we see it gets pretty hectic. And someone asked, why is Oaks numbers white? Well, I believe he came in a little late and the old production crew didn't have time to change the numbers, so it'll be changed next week. He should be in the blue class if we're scoring it right, which we will. Looks like we got another question out there in the YouTube comments. Do the same rules apply here as NASCAR? Which the answer is yes. We shouldn't see anyone being able to advance their position below the double yellow line, as we see Sturgill go below it there, but since he didn't advance his position as all, he will not receive a penalty. But if someone does do that tonight, the admins. Luckily, we got a good group of admins to review races and such. But yeah, same rules as apply as NASCAR. We have bonus points for, looks like Sturgill now pulls off to pits, and looks like no one goes with him. So not what you want to see if you're pitting, Carson.
Yeah, and I was just going to say with the rules, we are allowed to lock bumpers in this series. I think that's something NASCAR cannot do.
Yep, I know NASCAR's love to change the rules at the super speedways every year to try and keep speeds down and keep the excitement up. So we mostly follow their rules with racecraft, but the points, we do points for every position. So if you win, you get 40 points. If you finish 40th, you get a point. You get a point for lead-in. I believe 3 points for lead-in the most laps. And I believe that's it for bonus points for a traditional NASCAR race like we have here today. As we are now over halfway down in this race, we are on lap 54 of 90. We still have that one machine of Tanner Tallarico lead in the field. We'll go to a nice onboard shot, maybe a backwards case of facing cam, and see what kind of shots we can get. Probably mostly looking at that 21 machine's nose. As we'll see here, hopefully once Tanner makes it into turn one, what I like what I'm seeing out of this one machine is he kind of keeps his line a little bit higher up into the corner. This way the 21 machine there, Tim Rogers, can see that double yellow line. But what it also does, it prevents the 26 machine of Mike Witt to get a huge run, and it keeps the momentum up on the inside guy's line. Keeps it up closer to the outside line. So unless the outside line has really formed up in a strong run, it'll be hard-pressed to get around this one machine if he keeps up this line.
Yeah, and it also really helps that he's got a good drafting partner as well.
Yeah, I think some of the key draft pushers, at least tonight, as we saw, is that 21 machine of Tim Rogers. Looks like Andrew Payne there in the 93 on the outside, and then of course Seth Harrelson in the 07. I think is a pretty good pusher out here tonight. So we'll have to see how that works. Looks like Mike Witt maybe on the outside hung out to dry for a little bit before whoever's in that regular car can catch up.
Yeah, Andrew pushed him to the front and then he tucked in with the low line.
Yep. As it seems like everyone's kind of single filing out. I assume the big reason why people would single file out right around this time is green flag pit stops, because it usually ends pretty bad if you pit from the second lane with cars still going. So we'll have to see when people start ducking in and how many will come at one time. As Michael Sturgill, who pitted on his own, they are coming up to lap him here. They're about 15 cars or so back and rapidly approaching him. As he'll stay low for the leaders, as the rest of the field will try and snake around him here. And once again, this is going to be an interesting snake. We got one lapper on the low side and one on the high. We'll have to see how everyone makes it through this. As we got our first takers, and a lot of the back half as the field they almost hit coming to pit road, as looks like Brett Edwards was coming in there hot and almost got coddled there as they're going down. Like I said, this breaking into pits is very, very hard, and as we can see, we got some close calls, and I don't think luckily anyone hit each other, as we got one close call here coming to pits.
Yeah, and that's an underrated aspect, especially with racing and iRacing, is that coming into the pits is not as easy as you think it might be.
Yep, and a lot of people don't practice, especially here at Daytona. And if you get a penalty and you're stuck out there all by yourself, it can be a heartbreak, that's for sure. They almost come out 3 wide in the back. Let's hope Chris Harvey there didn't go over the double yellow line, because that may get dinged as a unsafe pit exit. So we'll have to see how that works out, as the field does do another lap, and looks like they will stay out. We'll see how long they stay out before they come and duck into pits here. As these are the leaders here in the back as they shoot high, as these guys are just rolling out of pit road. So
and it looked like someone threw the pit cone on the track, Brad. I don't know if you saw that, but
I did not, Carson. Luckily, it's a virtual cone, and once it gets hit off its perch, it doesn't get hit anymore. But looks like we got 4 cars here from that main pack coming to pit. I'm sorry, yeah, 4 cars here coming to pit road. As this will now, I believe, leave Nathan Goot the leader as he comes down pit road as well. And then once that all cycles out, it'll be the 10 car once again out in front. But we'll have to keep an eye on these leaders here as they roll out of pits, how much of a time difference these guys can make up. We got another one, making it to pits, but a little bit of trouble, but man, does an impressive job keeping it the right direction of Nick Winuk there, just clipping the grass.
And we'll have to see how many guys really try to push it and pit as late as possible, or wait for caution, or wait for the caution to come out.
Yeah, I think with Tanner Tallarico taking back over the lead, I think everyone has pitted, Carson, and it has cycled through. Now the real question is, how big of a run will Sean Hayes and this pack have on these top 4 that pitted that lap or 2 later?
Looks like we do have one more coming in, Brett.
All right, Carson. So yeah, it looks like maybe the 932 is Sean Grace coming in, but it looks like Sean Hayes right about now has about 10 miles an hour more than the front guys, so I assume they'll go blowing by him pretty good, and these front 4 will have to tuck on in once they get cleared by at least these top 4 that are on the high side as of right now. See some mile per hours, and I believe, I don't know if that's right or not, but some almost close to 100 mile an hour marks for some of these guys in this pack. So these cars are moving around Daytona here. I think everyone can make it to the end, and everyone's wide open here for a little bit, trying to get the best position they can before they kind of ride around for a few more laps before really taking the gloves off. Lapper shoot to the apron, get it sideways, and I believe save it as, Richard Pruitt is around. We'll have to see if that brings out a yellow, as we got trouble off of 2, and it looks like no yellow as of right now. We'll have to see what happened here for the 24 machine. And I don't know if it started, Carson, with probably reacting to the lapper getting a little hairy with the apron, but I tell you what, these Xfinity cars, people think that they're bolted to the ground here at Daytona, and if you have too much wheel in it, especially coming off of 4 and into 3, it can step around on you, and that's what it looks like happened to the 24 machine. Kind of stepped around on him. Tough break for, I think, Seth Harrelson, who got some nose damage, and looks like spun it into pit road. So I think those were the only 2 cars involved in that one, but a tough break for that 07 machine there, as we saw him up in the front for a while and able to push some guys. So we'll have to see how bad that hurts his car as well as the 24 Richard Pruitt got some pretty good rear end damage in that left rear, as you can see. So both those guys out of the draft, hoping for a yellow as of right now.
Oh, there goes Tanner.
Oh, as we go back up to the front, we see the one machine of Tanner Tallarico hard into the inside wall. We'll have to, I guess, go to another instant replay here, Carson, and try and find out what happened. What do you think?
Yeah, it looks like the 9 car just came down and just got into him and sent him. I don't think Tanner will be too happy.
I had no idea what was happening there. Pit 4.
As we hear my Jimmy Johnson spotter back come out, I think we have a yellow as, yeah, Tanner Tallarico, a little bit of contact with the 9. I'm not sure for sure. Met in the middle. I think we may have seen one car move a little bit more, but hard impact to that inside wall as we are under yellow, Carson. Do we see a cause of the yellow? As we will rewind here and try and find a cause of the yellow. So there's Tanner's wreck there going down the backstretch and trying to click through it here, folks. And
yeah, is that what brought out the caution, Brett?
It may have been. Maybe Carson, you could get a recap if you don't mind to find out, but currently under yellow here as looks like some of the leaders will come in. I don't know if I believe they already took their tires, so we'll have to see if it's just fuel for these leaders, as Dave Payton in the 38 machine led the way down. Looks like maybe left side tires that they're taking.
So Brett, I did get word from race control that Tanner's spin there getting hit was the cause of the caution.
Alrighty, so the yellow flag was for the one machine there, kind of spinning down the backstretch and hitting that inside wall pretty hard. So the NASCAR officials wanted to put the yellow out and make sure everyone's alright and there's no debris on track, because that was a pretty hard door bang between the 1 and the 9 car. What do you say we try and talk to someone here, Carson, under these yellow flags? Who do you think we should talk to?
We could talk to the 9 car.
So we'll talk to Sean Hayes maybe. We'll see what happened there, and we'll try and get a word with him. We will try and radio the 9 car here quickly under this yellow and see what he has to say. Hey Sean, you got a copy of Brett in the booth here?
Yes, sir.
Hey Sean, so a real quick interview. What do you think happened there to bring out that yellow?
Well, I mean, I felt like I was trying to side draft him. I didn't know if I came down. I didn't get any incidents until after he had spun, and I didn't even know that we hit until I got 0 at X.
Yeah, it looked like just of course, typical Daytona thing where everyone's running so close and just a slight little contact sent Tanner into the inside grass there.
The fucking bush body.
Yeah, I felt pretty bad about it. It was a lot of fun there.
Yep, for sure, Sean. Real quick, I don't know how many laps you guys have till green, but anyone you want to give a shout out to or thanks?
Just gotta thank all the teammates down at HCM and Rockets iRace Wraps for a sweet wrap, Windshield Deep, and TAM Academy.
Alrighty, Sean. Well, good luck out there, and hopefully we can talk to you later tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, Brett, you could see there that Sean did feel bad, and it was just a racing incident. That's just sometimes what happens.
Yep, for sure, Carson, and especially a place like Daytona, you get It's always such close racing that any sort of contact at these speeds is usually not too good for anyone, as the lights are out on the pace car. It looks like Michael Sturgill in the 90 machine, or the 8, because he has a custom number on his car, will lead us to green on the inside, but Sean Hayes in the 9 machine will be leading the outside line. As no report, Carson, right? No one claimed that yellow, so it may have to go to race control, as I don't believe anyone claimed that. As the pace car makes the hard left to pit road, we'll wait for Sturgill to fire off. As he does, and we are green flag racing here with under 25 to go for the Tropicana 225.
Yeah, it seems like no one was at fault, like we said, just a racing incident, so no claims, and we're just back to racing.
So it looks like we got some YouTube comments. I think if we get another yellow, which I think, especially inside with how many cars we still got, 16 cars on the lead lap, I think we'll have another yellow. If we do, I think someone wanted to hear some words from Skip Gandy in the 20 machine, so I think we'll have to pull him in and hear what he has to say from that 20 tag array machine. We have Michael Sturgill leading this inside line, being pushed by Drew Cox in the 63, as Drew now shoots to the outside, which will now lead the outside line. So those will be your line leaders as of right now. And it looks like everyone's kind of riding around, and looks like Tanner Tallarico way off the pace, so I think some heavy damage to that one machine, so that's a bit of a bummer there. But everyone else is kind of riding along and trying to make things work. Well, Carson, I don't think we have any announcers jinx. I know we still got a lot of racing left, but both of our picks as of right now are still running, I believe, both in the top 10. So we'll have to see what their game plan is here in a little bit, as it looks like we have 3 wide at the front of the field. This should be interesting, as it looks like Sturgill will get stuck in the sucker hole, as actually Sean Hayes shoots all the way to the bottom. So we'll have to see who starts working with who. Is Mike Witt is thinking about the middle. It looks like maybe now Tim Rogers in the 21 machine may be in the sucker hole.
Yeah, with how the last few races have gone with my announcer jinxes, hopefully doesn't happen again.
Yep, now that we're in the actual season, now it has some big implications to get an announcer's jinx. So we'll have to keep an eye on those guys and the rest of the field here, as we are 20 laps to go here, Carson. As we come around for 19 to go, what do you say we do a little crank it up and get some sounds of these cars going by?
Let's do it for the fans.
back from that crank it up here, and we had another good comment in the YouTube section. What are our thoughts on this 20 machine of Skip Gandy? And I tell you what, Carson, I've been hanging. He runs a lot of this super late models that I run on Wednesday nights, and I've been getting to know him a lot, and he has some really good speed in him. He's made a lot of improvements this first season with the super. I'm excited to see what he has to bring to the Xfinity cockpit. I know when I was talking with him recently, these practice races, he only had 1 or 2 races in these Xfinity cars. Daytona's a little finicky because it's such an unknown track, but I think for this blue division especially, I think he might be one of the favorites to win. I think on most weeks I could see him running against a lot of these red guys and putting a challenge for some wins here by the end of the season. So I'm excited to see what Skip has to offer here in the future as he progresses and learns these Xfinity cars, because these NASCARs on iRacing, they're big, heavy stock cars, but very tire sensitive, especially to the right front as we get to more, let's say, lifting and braking tracks, unlike Daytona. So if you can really manage your tires well, you can be really fast, and that's the key to these Xfinity cars. And I think Skip, with some practice and maybe some pointers from some help, I think he can be really fast, and I'm excited to see what the season has to offer.
Yeah, I was going to bring up too, he did have a podium last night with the 3rd place finish, so he's had good experience so far. Had a good experience so far in the series.
Yep, I think we'll see him on the podium for sure a couple times here as we get a cool onboard roof shot going into one. As they do lap Tanner Tallarico there, so he will be the first car a lap down, I believe.
Yeah, unfortunate for him. He's had a tough night, kind of, so far.
Actually, I believe John DeMeester is the first car lap down who's in the field, so bummer for Tanner. He won't even get the free pass if the yellow comes out. So we'll go back up to the front as it looks like the 21 machine of Tim Rogers has taken over the point. And actually now, as I say that, looks like Michael Sturgill moves the point position and moves down in front of the 21 machine. So Michael Sturgill leads the inside line, and once again, Sean Hayes is in that 9 machine leading the outside line. There's a little bit of movement by all the cars, but especially inside of 10 to go cars, I think that's when people will really start making their moves and seeing what people have and start showing the cards that they have in their pocket. As before we get to all that craziness, folks, we'll get one more word with our sponsors.
Jeff Gordon.
I just love the way he gets in his car.
Oh, that's smooth.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
There's one. What is that?
It's my Dale call.
That's way better than my duck call.
If you're on a diet of taking it up a notch,
it's just different.
Drink Diet Dew, the only diet with dew in it.
As we come back to live again here, Carson, looks like we had a little bit of contact off of 4 the last time between Brett Edwards and someone else. So I think we'll have to rewind and see what happened there as the 45 machine or the 52 is a little off the pace because of it.
Yeah, no caution there, but he had a pretty hard impact with the inside wall.
Yeah, no yellow once again, as sadly with iRacing on Daytona, it doesn't have the best yellows. Yeah, looks like maybe Brett Edwards just came up a little, and yeah, some pretty good impact with the inside wall. And if someone spins below that double yellow line, they'll be hard pressed to get a yellow with this Daytona configuration as iRacing has it right now. So Brett Edwards is 15th right now, I think, the last car on the lead lap. So he's just hoping for a yellow as we'll go back to the front as we come to 10 laps to go. We see people start maybe hooking up who they want to. We see Eric Papinell and then followed by Skip Gandy, the second and third car on the inside line. We'll have to keep an eye on those two. I know those two were working together a lot in practice, so we'll have to see those two can work together here in these closing laps. As Tim Rogers does clear Michael Sturgill into 3 and becomes our new leader. Inside to 10 to go.
And like you said, Brett, now these guys might start really pushing, trying to get drafts and runs and trying to get to the front to be the last man standing, kind of.
Yep. And I think before we know it, I think we'll get a third lane forming here pretty soon as people may start getting some big runs. Wanting to say it's go time. As Eric Papineau from the third position jumps out to lead the high side. We'll have to see how this works out for the 10 machine. I believe that inside the white flag lap, especially if you got a pretty good pusher behind you, that would be the place to be, as a high side. We go a little bit back. We do have the whole field right, and 14 on forwards here. It looks like a couple cars still just hanging out, probably assuming that the big one's still coming as they put another lap on that one machine of Tanner Tallarico down low. It looks as Papinell will be stuck in the sucker hole. We'll see. Looks like the 26 of Mike Witt will go with him. So looks like we got some 3-wide racing form, and we'll see how this goes for everyone. Everyone once again kind of settles in, holding their own, and maybe Carson's still a little too early before they can really push him.
Yeah, we haven't really seen anyone try to make any crazy runs yet.
A lot of pedaling, and it looks like a lot of moving cars here as we went on board with the 13 machine, as everyone's just, I bet, trying to find the buddy they want to work with, because for sure inside 5 to go, it's got to be all pushing, trying to get out front. Looks like now it's starting to form 3 wide as Sean Hayes gets sideways, and they.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Looks like we got a lot of guys involved in this one as they continue to pile in.
Yeah, they almost saved it a few times, but just too much to save.
Yeah, especially at these speeds. It looks like we saw Sean Hayes get loose in the tri-oval, I believe with some contact, and just couldn't hang on to it forever, and it looks like some heavy contact for a couple cars there. We'll get one more camera angle here before we maybe try and talk to, I think one person we have to talk to, especially since they've been asked for in the in the comments is Skip Gandy, who did get turned a little bit, but luckily hit another car there and not the wall, as we get a good fan cam for that wreck as we see the other cars continue to get collected in there. So we'll try and get a word with Skip Gandy here and see what he saw. Hey Skip, you got a copy of Brent here in the booth?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, Skip. Well, we got some good YouTube comments about you, some people cheering you on, and they wanted to hear from you. And sadly, you got involved in that last wreck, so tell us what you saw from your point of view.
Not 100% sure, Brett. Somebody looked like they stepped into my right side, and they just hit me and clipped me and went right into the wall. Nothing I can do about it.
Yep, yeah, you for sure got a right rear hooked, which was a big bummer, as we had some people root for you. Hopefully that car's not too damaged, and you can salvage a pretty good wreck, as I assume they're not done wrecking here with inside 5 to go.
Yeah, I just hope I can get it fixed enough just to finish.
Yep, Skip. Well, sadly your plans didn't go probably as planned with that yellow, but anyone you want to shout out to, thank you to, and such.
Yeah, Brett. I'd like to thank all the admins and all the sponsors and everybody that puts this series on. It's been a great race, and everything's been pretty well until this point.
Yep, Skip. Well, hopefully you get some better luck tomorrow, but this race truly isn't over. You never know with Daytona. They could all take themselves out on the white flag lap, and you could drive through the smoke, kind of Days of Thunder-esque, and pull out maybe a podium or a win.
Let's hope.
Alrighty, Skip. Well, good talking to you. Good luck, and hopefully talk to you here in a few laps.
Thank you, buddy.
Alrighty, that was Skip Gandy of the 20 machine. We'll have to, hopefully that car, it didn't look too damaged. We'll try and see if we got a good shot of that machine on pit road or whatever here, as it is a little crinkled, but we saw a crinkled car win last night, so we'll have to see how bad it really is, as it looks like Tim Rogers will take over the point after that. Big one, number 2 of the night.
We did get a YouTube comment to go on board with Dave Payne to watch the wreck, so I guess he maybe had a good vantage point of what happened.
Alrighty, we'll have to go on board with Dave Payne here and check out what he saw. As there'll be a little bit of rewind, so of course, we want to thank all the sponsors out here for making this happen here tonight. Frito-Lay, PepsiCo, Luke Oil, Tagaray, all those guys. And, of course, you, Carson, for being out here and helping commentate.
Yeah, no problem, Brent, and thank you for having me. As always, this is a lot of fun.
Alrighty, here will be a good shot as we'll get this thing wound up here. That was Dave Payne repairing some damages, as we'll see what the 38 machine saw. Alrighty, here's off of 4, folks, and it starts in the tri-oval here, so let's see what the 38 saw. Even though he got a little bit of front end damage, he did a really good job of missing all those spinning cars thereafter. So a great avoidance by the 38 machine there after getting the initial contact. Because I think maybe Josh Cottle, I saw him have a pretty wild ride. We may have to rewind and see his point of view too, as he kept that thing facing the right direction there for the good bit. As he as well saw it happening, tried to shoot low, and I think he just gets clipped in his door here in a second, and across his nose, and does a good job keeping that thing facing the right way as well.
Yeah, some people showed some pretty amazing wreck avoidance skills in that one.
as I think we are actually green flag here as Tim Rogers leads us to green as we are inside of 3 laps to go. So I don't believe this was a green-white checkered, so I think we'll have one more ahead of us. But if we do get the yellow flag here in 2 laps, it will end under checkered. So any wrecks on the white flag lap will not bring out the yellow. As we have Tim Rogers leading the inside line in the 21, and then Eric Papanow leading the outside line there. I think our pole sitter here tonight. And once again being pushed by Seth, even though he has some damage, he's still getting pushed by that 07 machine. As we come to white flag here, sponsored by Pepsi. This is our last lap, Carson, so we'll see what kind of wild moves people have up their sleeve.
Yeah, we'll have to see how much blocking and how much people try to make a move and get a run comes into play.
Oh, there is some contact here. This is going to hurt Tim Rogers a little bit, as he's not going to have too much help going down this backstretch, but we'll have to see where Papanow goes. If he blocks high or goes low, he does go low, so at least Seth leading the high side, and it looks like Richard Pruitt here in this pack is the best finishing blue cars. Nathan Gu is racing for Pruitt for that best finish, as looks like Papanow leading the way. I think he may do it, and I think Eric Papanow wins this race here tonight. He sadly might not be here for the whole week as they wreck behind him. He might not be here for the whole series, but he had to come out for Daytona. I bet he's really glad he came out here to win the race here, Carson.
Yeah, and like last night, Tim is the king of pushing people to the win. Pushed another guy to the win tonight.
Yep, and the 07 was up there pushing there at the end too, so the 2 good pushers once again up in the top 3. So we'll have to I believe talk to probably our top 3, and then our best finishing fourth or blue guy, which is Richard Pruitt. We'll probably talk to him. So as they come off, we'll get those guys ready and go to one last commercial.
Newman.
Alrighty, Carson, we are back from commercial, and let's try and talk to maybe the 24 machine of Richard Pruitt here, as he was our 4th place finisher, but our best place in blue division driver. What do you say?
All right, let's bring him in.
Hey, Richard, you got a copy of Brett here in the booth?
10-4, buddy, what's going on?
Well, Pruitt, I know you didn't quite get the podium you were probably hoping for tonight, but you did pull off the best finishing blue division driver. So how'd you do it, and what'd you see after that crazy last restart?
Man, it's just people taking chances all over the place. You got to going for the win, and you're right, I didn't quite get the podium, but I was just trying to avoid disaster, and man, congratulations to old Paps, man. I love seeing him win. That's awesome. So on to Charlotte.
Yep, that's right, Pruitt. That's the mentality, as you are. I believe you should be the blue points leader, as I I don't know if you led a lap or not, but I believe you did. So congratulations with that. But anyone you want to give a shout out to or thank you here for the broadcast?
Absolutely. All of our admin team. We got a lot of sponsors, Frito-Lay, PepsiCo, Luke Oil, Tagger-A, and, of course, you for putting on this great broadcast for us. And I thank my teammates, man. They were great to work with, and they were really cheering me on. In that last restart, they all got caught up in a wreck at some point or another.
All righty. Yeah, Pruitt. Yeah, bummer for the teammates there, but awesome finish for you. So congratulations on the 4th place finish, and hopefully talk to you here in the future.
10-4, buddy. Thank you.
Alrighty, that was our 4th place finisher, but our best blue division finisher. So we'll try and get a word with the 07 machine of Seth. Carson, what do you say?
Alrighty.
Seth, you got a copy of Brett here in the booth?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, Seth. So I know you got a little bit of damage there towards the middle of the race, but we saw in the broadcast, I think you were one of the best pushers out there tonight. How was the car, and what'd you see there at the final restart?
Yeah, car was pretty good. I did some damage early, or about middle ways, but thank God that caution came out, kind of saved me. It allowed me to get it fixed. And towards the end there, I mean, I was not lifting. I tried to time it just right to give Eric the push coming off of 2, and I got there just a tad early, which got him sideways and ended him a little bit. So I hate that portion of it, but other than that, it was fairly clean, and had a good time.
Yeah, Seth, like I said, I think you were one of the best pushers. I think you and the 21 machine were had the case made for, I think, the best pushers out here tonight. So glad to see that 07 machine got the finish that it probably deserved after how that race went for that middle portion. So is there anyone you'd like to thank or give a shout out to for that 07 machine?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to my teammates, Hangout Chat Motorsports. I hate they all wrecked there towards the end and we couldn't finish it, all in the top 5 there, but overall we had a blast. Lots of laughter. I mean, it was a good race. We had a blast up in there.
Awesome. Well, glad to hear it, Seth, and hopefully we can talk to you in the future. So, congratulations on the 3rd place here tonight.
Thanks, Brett. Appreciate it.
Alrighty, that was the 3rd place finisher, Seth Harrelson, and let's see if we can get old Tim Rogers here in the booth, Carson. This should be always a good one.
Yeah, should.
Alrighty, Tim, do you got a copy of Brett here in the booth?
Hell yeah, I do.
Alrighty, Tim. So, what happened there? How was the car? And what happened from that last green-white checkered-esque?
Well, to start out, the car is freaking amazing. I mean, these Fords can push. Like, early on in the race, I was pushing Tanner down the backstretch and we were breaking away. The Fords just can lock up with the car in front of them, and you can just sail, forward. And I think I had a lot of speed to stay up front. I was anticipating the runs. I didn't want to get back, and I wanted to go for it the whole race. I don't like to ride in the back. So my strategy was just to go for it. I knew I had the car to do it. I knew I was fast.
Yeah, and that strategy, I think, worked out pretty well for you with a P2 here tonight, Tim.
Yeah, that was almost had it. It's just both the lanes were just running really close to each other, side drafting, and I got to give a hand to Sturgill. He was committed to pushing me, and he got tagged, and that just ruined the whole inside line. And I was like, I could just see my race just fading away from there. But we were able to stick it through. We survived coming across the checkered, which I'll take that.
Yeah.
Not getting a big wreck, and we were able to push Eric to the win.
Yeah, I was impressed. No big wreck on the white flag lap. I thought for sure something was going to break loose, but I said it before in the broadcast, Tim. I think you and Seth there were some of the best pushers here tonight throughout. So congrats, you two got the finishes you guys probably deserved.
Thank you.
So, Tim, anyone you want to thank or give a shout out to here before we let you go?
I just want to thank myself for funding this ride with my own company. In case you didn't see on the car, it says RogersCars.com. Yeah, I fund the car myself. I just want to thank my teammates out there who are helping me. Dave, Andrew, and Tanner. We were in the back and we had a really good line going. We were just working really super well together, but we got broken up mid-race. And just want to thank PepsiCo for coming on and sponsoring the series. Want to thank Luke Oil for sponsoring, QuickTime, Frito-Lay, all those guys for helping us put this show on.
Alrighty, well, there's our third place finisher, Tim Rogers.
Second. I got second.
Sorry, our second place finisher, Tim Rogers. Already losing track of time here, folks. But congratulations, and I'll hopefully talk to you here again in the future.
Oh yeah, let's get it. Woo!
Alrighty, folks, that was our second place finisher, Tim Rogers, in the 21 machine. Carson, what do you say we try and pull down this leader? Let's see what he has to say, or this winner, I should say.
Yeah, he went, and I was going to say with that too, he started first to finish first, so that's really impressive at Daytona.
Yep. Alrighty, Eric. So, I think you may have done close to a perfect race. I don't think you had the most laps led, but got the pole and got the W. How'd you do it?
Just rode around at the start of the race. I mean, you got to thank God first off, of course. I mean, just being able to get the opportunity to be here tonight. Won't be able to get to run the whole season in this series, but I mean, just riding around, communicating with teammates, just keeping track of where everybody is, learning what moves are working, which ones aren't, and I mean, just trying to keep the car in a good position and not get involved in any of the wrecks, which fortunately we didn't.
Yeah, tell me some of the keys you had for maybe avoiding those wrecks, or what kind of strategy you had besides, I guess the main one, of course, is avoiding the wrecks here at Daytona.
Knowing where to put the car, knowing when to push, when to ride, keeping track of fuel mileage, when to save, when to push, and then, of course, learning the guys that you're racing around, because, of course, we're not all teammates out there, but you got to work together to be able to make it work here at Daytona and Talladega anytime you're doing the draft, and knowing anybody's tendency to where if you touch them they can get squirrely, or if you push them they're going to be straight and you can get a pretty good run and pretty much tandem up through there.
Yep, Eric. So it's a bummer you don't get to stay for the whole season, because right now I bet you're wishing that you could, especially with being able to pull off the dub. I'm glad you were able to come in and join and I guess show these guys how to pull off a victory here in the Sportsman Series.
Well, it's been a long time coming. I mean, I've had many heartbreaks in the Frito-Lay Super Late models here this season, and coming away with the first pole, first win, first lap led in this series, it's awesome. I couldn't ask for any more, and to be racing with a great group of guys like all y'all and the admin team and everything. I mean, it's been an incredible ride the past few months, and to get this opportunity, I guess if I get a chance to come back out here, hopefully for Talladega. If I wind up taking that one, I guess you could consider me a bushwhacker in that instance.
There you go, Eric. So I guess we'll try and jot your name down for the super speedways, as so far you're 1 for 1 at them here. So anyone you want to thank, give a shout out to on that awesome 10 machine?
Gotta thank Liberty Live Church for coming on board, Tiger Ray for being on board with not just myself, but my teammate Skip, Mikey Car Care, Colonial DJs, Shining Star Entertainment. Of course, got to thank the league sponsors, Pepsi, Frito-Lay, Luke Oil, QuickTime. I have a feeling I'm missing someone there, and I'm sorry if I missed them, but the admin team, of course, like I said, I mean, everybody there is awesome, and I've got to thank my teammate Skip Yandy as well, because he, even though we didn't run close together for the most part, we did keep tabs on each other, and he wanted to keep me focused on what I needed to do, and with being able to give him advice, it kept it easier for me to be able to focus on holding to what I needed to do as well.
Alrighty, Eric. Well, once again, congratulations with this win. Hopefully we can see you out here a couple more times in this Xfinity Series and see what you can bring to the table here in the future.
Absolutely, and it's the Pepsi Series.
Whoops, my bad. So I'm getting to, I guess I'm streaming too late here tonight, folks. So once again, that's our winner, Eric Papanow. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Look forward to catching y'all on track soon.
Alrighty, Carson. Well, that was our winner, Eric Papanow there. So I guess we'll say our closing remarks and wrap this thing up and get out of here and get ready for Charlotte.
Yep, there was another great race. Daytona is always fun. Charlotte should be just as fun. Thanks again, Brett, for having me. And have a good night, and everyone watching, have a good night as well.
Yep. And once again, we got to thank all of our sponsors here to make this happen for this series and broadcast. Got to thank Luke Oil, Tagaray, Frito-Lay, Pepsi, and all the admins here at ASRC to make this happen, all the racers. Got to thank you, Carson, for being in the booth with me for Boosted Brothers Broadcasting, and everyone at home watching. Stay safe, have a good night, and tune in next week for Charlotte. Have a good one, everyone.